Hello and welcome to Between Ends, the bowl show on 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗵. I'm Jimmy Whitehead and joined as always by my good mate JT. How you going, buddy?
Great, Jimmy. No, great to be on the show. I had the pleasure of going down and commentating the live stream match last Friday night between 𝗍𝗶𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗺 and 𝗹𝗶𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗺. Fantastic match, went right down to the wire. Tony and I broke the record for the most viewers on board, so it's great to see that I come on board and lift the ratings for everybody involved.
This just kind of handball you one of the best games on a Friday night prime time, though. On a pretty cold night as well, weren't it? I did hear you sucking a bit.
No sucking, just a little bit breezy, but got up, moved around a little bit as we were commentating, and it sort of stemmed the flow of that.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, mate, I'm sitting in a bowls office. I'm at 𝗵𝗃𝗺𝗺𝗺 Bowls Club at the moment. We've got the over 60 state championships for the next 3 days. Kicked off about half an hour ago. They're into the men's and women's singles. Great turnout, great club. Greens look fantastic up here as always. It's at least 15 degrees hotter than Melbourne. So yeah, I'm enjoying it up here. Who do you reckon is going to win it? Have you had a look through the draw? You got any hot tips, mate?
Yeah, look, I did. I had a bit of a meander through earlier. Look, outside the Murray, Mallee and Wimmera regions, who I'm responsible for in my role, and shout out to all those playing from those two regions. I believe in the men's 16 over singles. I'm going to lean the way towards Mark Cowan winning the event. I think his past experience as a great state player at open level will probably put him in good stead.
I don't think you're far off the mark with that one. However, I'm going for a repeat of last year. I think we're going to get a Tommy Ristic, Gary Sanders final. I think Tommy will get the job done again. I think he'll go back to back, but I also think Gary will go back to back runners up as well. He looks in good form. Women's singles, yeah.
I'm going to actually show a little bit of favouritism here and pick the Murray Maley singles winner and Jenny Lawson. I seen the way she played in our region finals and she was absolutely fantastic. She's in there for both events, the 16 over pairs as well with Jean Fairchild. And I think Jenny's form's pretty solid. I reckon she can get the win.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to go for a Yarra double, Metro double. I reckon Alison Hall will take down the women's singles. She's a very accomplished singles player. She's also in the pairs draw as well. So she'll be playing plenty of bowls up here. I think she'll go good on this one. Men's pairs, I'm going to go for a local tip here. I'm going to go for Ian Ross and Rod Pearce to take this one down, mate.
Well, funny enough, that's what I've got written on my sheet here in front of me as well. I've seen Rossi play for years. He's been around for a long time. I don't know Rod well, but I mean, Ian Ross played for so many years at the 𝗵𝗃𝗺𝗺𝗺 Bowls Club, where you are right now. And he knows those greens better than anyone. So I'm backing he's going to win it as well.
Yeah, cool. And women's pairs, I'm going for the Evans and Murray pair of Lauren Smith and Claire Sanders.
Yeah, look, solid pairing. I've lent one other way. Again, another solid pairing who have done well in this event and or the actual open state pairs event in Gail McKenzie and Jan Morton, So I saw them listed and there was a couple others I could have went for as well, I reckon. And I went, wow, that's a cracking field for the 16 over pairs.
I had Jan and Gail written down and I sort of crossed it off as I walked past the board for one last time before we started filming this show. So yeah, I think they'll go very close as well, mate. Should be good. We've also got one of our amazing Bowlswick partners here, mate. We've got Family Financial Solutions. They've got a little stand going. Got a competition draw going, $100 restaurant voucher with some BV merch packs. It's great to see one of our partners be able to get out at the events, mingle with the competitors and the players and the spectators. So hats off to them for making the drive up to Bendigo. Into Premier League, mate. Double header last weekend. Like we said, huge weekend for a lot of teams. I know the agony and ecstasy of 2 games in one weekend. We lost by 1 and then win by 15 the next day. So let's sort of make a quick run through the results from last weekend. So Friday night game, you streamed it, 𝗍𝗃𝗺𝗺𝗺𝗺, Yarraville. We just don't do bad games, do we, mate?
No, it was a fantastic game. When the actual live stream rink finished, 𝗹𝗶𝘃𝗃𝗀𝗺 was 6 shots in front or 5 shots in front of that point in time. And they actually never scored again, unfortunately for them. And 𝗍𝗃𝗺𝗺𝗺's 2 rinks and Ryan Taint and James Pearce. And I'll probably give a particular shout out to James Pearce. Some of the shots he played in the last 2 or 3 ends were absolute cracking shots and helped 𝗍𝗃𝗺𝗺𝗺 get across the line on that last end.
Huge. Altona Clayton. Altona pretty comfortable, 16-2 over Clayton. We both tipped the way of Altona. They're very tough to beat at home. That one, not too much happening there we didn't expect. Same with Bundoora Croydon, 15-3. Bundoora took down Croydon on the Saturday afternoon. And that's a team who's on the charge now, Bundoora. They won both games this weekend. Firmly in the 4 now. They're in second place. Have jumped ahead of Melbourne and MCC. So be interesting to see where they go. They're on our live stream game Saturday coming up. Lilydale MCC, 16-2 the way of MCC. Again, probably nothing out of the ordinary there. We both sort of tipped MCC. they're in the 4, Lilydale towards the bottom. So nothing happening we didn't expect. But then the one surprise, I was involved in it, 72-73, the way of Mentone at Melbourne. They looked a very, very good side. They had their full 16 available for that Saturday game. Mate, I don't know how they're down there if they play like that every week. They were focused, fired up, came to do a job and did the job.
I think, we've mentioned it a number of times during the season that the marquee players make a difference for a club like Mentone. They probably don't have the depth that other clubs have. And, the likes of Michael Wilkes and Tony Wood, they make a huge difference to that side. What I also found interesting about that particular round, Jimmy, was that all the games were either 16-2 or 15-3, but the scores were all nearly less than 10 shots. So whilst they were one-sided in terms of point allocation, they probably weren't really that one-sided in the schemes of things. So it's showing how even the competition is.
Correct. Continuing on with Mentone, one of the things I said to their boys as they left is, don't waste this win. Don't waste this opportunity. You've just knocked over Melbourne. You've got Croydon, massive game. 2 of the teams towards the bottom the next day at home. Don't waste the opportunity, boys. What did they do? Waste the opportunity. They've gone and lost to Croydon. So now the bottom's back in the balance. They're all very similar to one another down there.
Yeah, and the flow-on effect of that is Croydon getting those points. It gets them a little bit, closer to Mentone. So, no, great win by Croydon. They needed it. But yeah, I was probably a little surprised by that result as well, particularly after Mentone beating you guys the day before.
Carnage. MCC 𝗵𝗃𝗺𝗺. This is one we tipped differently. You've clawed one back on me here and clawed another one back somewhere else as well. That's a shellacking. 18-0, 112-64. That for me is 𝗵𝗃𝗺𝗺 absolutely stamping their authority on this competition.
And look, there were some comments made on the Friday night about how the closeness of 𝗹𝗶𝗃𝗺𝗺 and 𝗵𝗃𝗺, but the one thing you got to probably reinforce was 𝗵𝗃𝗺𝗺 were missing 5 on the Friday night. Well, they were still missing 5 the next 2 days later. And but I feel like they feel more confident playing away from home at the moment than actually at home, and that probably backs it up with that result against MCC.
Yeah, it's good green, that MCC green. So maybe playing on a surface like that was just played into their hands. We took on Altona in the live stream game. I think the highlight of it was not only Brett Spur playing out of his skin, but myself with a one-end cameo at the end of the live stream. Just peppering Bear Jack back touch. I was just going hot. I'm just glad the cameras came then and not earlier.
I was going to say, if they caught the rest of the game, Jimmy, you might have been dropped by now.
Yeah, exactly. Close game again, mate. Altona, it was to and fro all game. I think there was, I don't know, I have to go back and look at the stream, but I'm pretty sure there was 2 shots in it with 5 ends to play, and we just happened to take the last 5 ends across a couple of rings to get the win. That was massive for us, mate. I actually felt like a huge sigh of relief come out from 16 blokes, and we needed that. Otherwise, it weren't going to be a happy place to be if we'd have lost that game.
No, well, looking at the ladder, and you're sitting 4th at the moment, and Altona are 5th. So I'm happy with the result, because I did make the call 4 weeks ago, and you did get some feedback about that. I said Altona are gone, and now they're sitting 5th and not that far out of the 4. So I'm kind of glad of the result, based off my early crow.
They're a good side, mate. I think they're still in with a hunt.
Yeah.
And Yarraville, another one we tipped differently. So Yarraville, Bundoora. Bundoora just marched on. This is what we spoke about last week, about these doubleheader weekends changing seasons. Bundoora have gone from edge of the 4 to 2nd now, and firmly in 2nd place. They'd be extremely disappointed to not make finals from this position they're in now. They've got the Flyings back in this coming weekend before they head up to Moama for the BPL next weekend. Good win against Yarraville Footscray. They've lost 2 on the spin. Bundoora win 2 on the spin. It suddenly looks completely different. So yeah, the table's sort of close enough. We've still got the split of 7 teams and 3 teams, but Clayton and Lilydale are playing this Friday night, which is our live stream game. JT, it's I say catch up. It's just fixtured that they're playing this game on a Friday and having the doubleheader next weekend. Which is great that clubs are being flexible and allowing this to happen, as long as the game starts before the next round starts, or finishes before the next round starts even, and they're good to go. Talk us through the draw for the Clayton Lilydale game this Friday night, mate. 7 p.m. start.
Yeah, so our live stream matchup is the Todd Simmons versus Jess Wallace matchup. So that's a fantastic matchup. Todd's been in and out this year. He's probably had some other commitments. He has got Tash Scott, who's one of Australia's finest female bowlers, playing in the side. So it should be a good matchup. Jess Wallace has been solid. She's had some good wins this year. She's also had a couple of rough losses as well. But this could make or break the actual game, I reckon, this one a little bit. If Jess can come up and play a good game, it might keep Lilydale in the hunt.
Yeah, should be a good one. We both tipped Clayton from last weekend. I don't see any reason to change that. I'm not going to allow you to change your tip anyway. So, be a good game. We got the rest of the rinks there, mate.
Yeah, so Ali Forsyth has drawn against CJ Sneary. Dylan Fisher has drawn against Joshy Sanders. And Dylan Benwell has drawn against Daniel Woodrow. So good matchups. Big game. Clayton needs this if they want to try and get back into the 4 at this stage. They're sitting outside it. And as I said, Lilydale need the win to try and avoid relegation as best as possible.
Yeah, great. And then going ahead to so you have closed up the tipping ladder, mate. You're back to within 2, back to within striking distance. We've still got 5 or 6 rounds left to go. I'm just going to tip the same as you from now, I reckon, and just nullify the threat.
No, so you're going to tip first this week, so then you don't know what's going on.
No, sounds good. All right, let's crack on with the Saturday fixtures. So Altona and Mentone is also a Friday night game, 7 p.m. Get down to Altona. They're always good for live music and food down there. Cracking venue, little decking over the green to watch the game. So if you're in the west, get down there. If you're in the east, get down to Clayton to watch that game. Look, I played against them both last weekend, both solid teams. A lot will depend on who Mentone have in. I'm just looking at their team now. They only have Tony Wood in. They don't have Micah Wilkes, and that will change the game for me. I think Altona will get the win over Mentone.
Look, they are making me look like liars, Altona, and shout out to Duggar and D-Mac. I think Duggar was saying, what's Joshy doing writing us off early in the season last week? I think they're going to win, which will keep them in the hunt and going to make me look stupid, but I do think they're going to be too strong for Mentone on Friday night.
Lilydale, Melbourne. We know where I'm going on this one. I think the boys will back up the win from Sunday. They're also strengthened by the fact I'm not playing this Saturday. Some family commitments for myself. But yeah, I think Melbourne will get over Lilydale.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think Melbourne will be too strong for Lilydale.
Croydon, Yarraville. Yarraville coming off a couple of losses. Croydon will be buoyed by that win on Sunday. Jeez, this one's a tough one to tip, mate. You go first.
No.
Let's go with Croydon.
Wow. I thought this is where I might get one back on you, but I've tipped Croydon as well. Yeah, so dare say we'll have some Facebook posts saying how stupid we are for tipping Croydon over 𝗹𝗶𝘃𝗶𝘃𝗶. It generally happens when we do something like that, but I just think, again, a bit like you, Croydon might be buoyed by the win on the weekend and might get the win on this Saturday.
Like we said last week, mate, that loss to 𝗃𝗃𝗺𝗃 was one rink. It wasn't the whole team. One rink, and it can happen in a game of bowls, went down pretty harshly, and that cost them the game. So they weren't far away against arguably the best team in the division. So I do think it'll be a close one as always, but I think they'll get up in this one. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 at home to Clayton Saturday afternoon. I'll go with 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. I think they're on a bit of a roll at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Seen them firsthand last week, and again, I don't think they played well. I think they felt like they got lucky in the end in that result. And then you saw what they did when they probably come out and did play well the next day or Sunday. Shows their true form. I'll tip them over Clayton.
And then our live stream game from Saturday night, 5 p.m. live from Bundoora. They host MCC. Talk us through the live stream rink and the rest of the draw for that one, Josh. I know our live stream rink is going to be Gary Kelly, who's back this week for Bundoora. His rink will take on Brendan Gallagher's rink from MCC.
Yeah, look, that's there's some cracking lineups in, cracking matchups here. Both teams have been playing pretty well. MCC's probably had their worst weekend for a little while, but they should see a really great matchup. We've got Corey Wedlock playing against Brad Marin, Dean O'Neill playing against Scotty Mortimer, and Lukey Alo versus 𝗃𝗍𝗃𝗃 Norris. I don't ever know if I ever get that last name right when I go with Lukey, but shout out to him. But should be a cracking match. I'm going to wait for your tip first, being that I'm behind you, and see which way you're leaning first.
It's a tough one. This is a very tough tip. Bundy on a roll. MCC points to prove. Have lost a couple in a couple of weekends now. They lost to Altona the week before the doubleheader. I'm going to go home grid advantage, full side back out. I think Bundoora will win this one and put MCC in a very tricky position.
It's disappointing to hear that you went that way, Jimmy. I'm going to go for Bundoora, which means I can't peg you back this week by the looks of things, but we'll see. There's a number of weekends to go, but yeah, Bundoora I think will be marginally too good for MCC, but I do believe the game could go either way.
Yeah, sounds good, mate. Well, look, we'll look forward to 2 games this weekend. It's always fun having 2 live streams on a weekend. Certainly put the hours in to do the commentary, and thanks for the drive down from Swanell last week, mate, to cover Deer Park and Yarraville. BCIB, our metropolitan pennant partner for this year. So for all your bowling club insurance needs, contact BCIB, who are the bowling club specialists. Steve Glasson was down last week talking about BCIB, played for 𝗹𝗶𝗃𝗺𝗺 in the doubleheader. Had a bit of a sportsman's night as well, I believe. So it's great to see clubs taking advantage of these marquee rules. He was signed up well before round 1, for the people that have that have asked that. It's good that these clubs are thinking in the future and doing this sort of stuff. So hats off to Nick McIntyre at 𝗹𝗶𝗃𝗺𝗺 and the club there for promoting the sport.
Yep, it was a fantastic initiative, and shout out to BCIB, our pennant sponsors.
Awesome. All right, mate. Well, we'll catch up next week. We'll review this weekend's action and look forward to another doubleheader in the Metropolitan Pennant.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.